Good morning. Check out these inspired words from John's Gospel, chapter 1, verse 14. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Son, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. You know, no matter who you are, regardless of whether you're a believer or not, you got to admit that Jesus is without a doubt the most significant and influential figure in all of human history. His life among us was and is so significant that all of history pivots around him. In fact, his very birth caused historians to divide history's yardstick between BC and AD. And granted, there have been many heroes and heroines that have emerged in the course of human history, people that have sacrificed themselves for the sake of others, defied the odds, righted wrongs, and otherwise left their mark on the pages of history, but all pale in comparison to this humble, seemingly uneducated peasant from Galilee. Why is that? What is it about Jesus that sets him so far apart from all the rest? From a purely historical standpoint, it's kind of baffling when you think about it. It's not like Jesus pioneered a healthcare system or built hospitals for the poor in Palestine. He didn't open a network of halfway houses for the region's orphans and widows. There's absolutely no historical evidence of Jesus ever spearheading a philanthropic foundation or chairing a benevolent society. So, just what was it that Jesus did in his short 33-year life that so changed the fabric of human history? You know, historians have spent the last 20 centuries wrestling with that question and will no doubt spend the next 20 centuries doing exactly the same. But thankfully, as Christians, we're not called to be historians, but rather imitators of Jesus. That being said, I think what's really important is simply this. Jesus lived. He became flesh and he lived among us. And what's more, Jesus didn't just preach the gospel, he lived it. He didn't reduce his message to mere words. He communicated his message by the way he lived. Jesus was what he talked about. He was the good news personified. While I believe that studying God's Word is essential to Christian growth, sometimes in our quest to study the object of our faith, it's easy to lose sight of what's really important. At least I know it is for me. Learning about the historical life of Jesus may be fascinating and give us a feeling of accomplishment, but all that knowledge is useless if we don't live it. We're not just called to receive and proclaim the good news, but to live the good news. The most effective way to spread the gospel is to actually be the gospel, to be the good news of Jesus Christ. So keep that in mind as you stay safe, keep on looking up, keep on loving and caring for one another, and remember, God's got this, and we'll see you tomorrow.